There's a place at the end of the
GSL Season 1 Code S Daybreak. Live from Free Cup Studio in Seoul, this is the GSL.
What's up, guys? It's Tasteless and Artosis beginning the round of 8 in the GSL Code S, and we're starting it off with a kick-ass match.
That's right. Scarlett versus soO. It's the round of 8, so it's a best of 5. It's been about 100,000 years since we've had a non-Korean in the round of 8.
Yes.
Scarlett's killing it lately. Of course, soO, he never loses in the round of 8. It doesn't happen. It's never happened. Will it happen tonight?
I am curious to find out. Later on, we do have PvP coming up here. So it's all mirror matchups tonight, but the best possible mirror matchups you could ask for. Now, Scarlett was eliminated earlier than we thought she would be eliminated in the Intel Extreme Masters in Poland.
So was soO.
That's right. Is this indicative of how this series is going to look from her or from soO? I don't think so. It's a different style of tournament. The Intel Extreme Masters, more of a marathon format, where ours is a long, slow crawl.
Indeed,
About,
it is.
what is it, a little over 2 months to get through a GSL Code S? How many weeks
like
is it
3
actually
months.
normally?
Well,
3
we have
months?
17 days.
Yeah.
We do 2 a week.
But
so
I guess we sometimes chop
8
it up.
weeks.
There's breaks in there.
There's always a skip between 32 and 16, so that'd be 9 weeks, and then a 10th week for the finals. So generally speaking, it's 10 weeks long.
Artosis, did they actually cut paste too many second-place medals down there?
Someone was just spamming it.
Are they just spamming that? That can't be right.
It's like when you're spamming
XD that many times?
and you hold the D key down for a long time.
I can't believe we got Super Scarlett. I can't believe Scarlett's in the round of 8.
I know, it's wild.
정말 아쉬운 대진이 아닐 수
So,
없습니다.
do tell your friends to join us. I know we had a little break in there. We missed you guys. Also, we hope you had the chance to watch the Intel Extreme Masters. If you missed the finals of that, especially the final day, definitely go check that out anytime, but right now.
오랫동안 기다리셨습니다.
Because right now you're
8강
ours.
첫 번째 경기
And you can't leave
시작하겠습니다.
until this is done.
No, you can't.
I'm really happy I managed to advance to the round of 8. I played Zest and Innovation, who are 2 very strong players, both GSL champions in the past. But I didn't have too much trouble making it through. It's really nice for me after having so much trouble with GSL in the past.
지난번에 16강에서 떨어져서 굉장히 아쉬웠는데 이번에 8강까지 왔으니까 결승까지 한번 노려보도록 하겠습니다.
So he's very scary to play against. I don't think he ever really loses in the round of 8 or round of 4. Like I wouldn't mind playing him in the finals, of course, but before that, he's very scary.
스칼렛 한때 잘 했었는데 지금 이제 못하다가 요새 좀 잠깐 반짝 약간 위협적이죠. 요새 좀 해가지고.
Maybe 7 out of 10 control. He's a good all-around player, but his control is not something that I'm especially impressed from him about. It's just, it feels like any other top player.
그럴 수 있어요. 6.7. 저보다 약간 미치. 약간.
Harassment, maybe also around 7 or 8. He's good at it, but again, it's not like what he's very best at out of everybody.
한 6점? 견제가 특출나지는 않네.
Maybe 10 out of 10 for that. He is very good mechanically. I think that's what he's best at. He doesn't really make mistakes in the build order and macro aspects of the game at all. His best point is he feels very consistent. He's very good at the mechanical aspect of the game. He feels kind of like innovation, but a third player.
저는 알고 있었어요. 저는 그걸 생각해요. 나는 어떤 스타일일까? 다른 사람으로 생각하는. 그러면 나는 약간 이신영 느낌이라고 저는 혼자 생각하고 있었거든요. 8.5점. 가끔 스칼렛이랑 할 때 보면 좀 짠다. 약간 이런 느낌? 좀 잘 짠다.
Maybe 9 out of 10. I think in Korea, maybe he's the second best player in understanding Zerg. Only I would only rate Dark above him in that regard.
저도 맞다고 생각해요. 레오가 저보다 위에 있다고 생각하고 저도 9점. 그 외국인 저그 중에서 세라 다릅니다.
Hey, Sue, I'm not that scared of you recently, so I wouldn't mind playing you in the round of 8.
너가 저그전을 뭐 잘한다고 하지만 아직은 내가 저그전 탑이다. 김치의 맛을 보여주마.
작은 거지.
Wow, so much about this match. So much to talk about, with that interview, but I guess the biggest takeaway is Sue's laugh.
Oh my God! Someone please cut out all of his laughing.
Someone
just
make a
link
GIF,
it together.
please.
This is that was too funny. I love how he just ranked her below him in every regard and then laughed about it.
Yeah.
Sue is actually one of the funnier Korean players. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, he definitely has a lot of charisma. So we're moments away from starting this. Again, it is a little bit of a shift in pacing. We go into a best of 5 for this. These players train exclusively to play off against each other. So there's going to be a lot of mind games going on at the highest level here in the ZVZ.
Yeah, and don't forget they were both over in I Am Katowice, and both of them fell out during the group stage. So both of them would have come back early.
So they're not
practicing. They're not going to be too badly jet lagged. We've seen in the
Not
past,
like us.
like Classic, for instance, came back the same day as us because he was in the finals. So he might have a harder time, right?
For sure.
Yeah, there we have it. I mean, this is going to be a fun match, guys. Spread the word. Scarlett going for that round of 4. Of course, Sue going for his 7th. 7's the lucky number, right?
That's right.
7 times the charm for Sue.
Depending on what
if he can
culture you're
make it.
from, yeah. 7 is the lucky number.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter what you're from because I'm talking about dice, okay?
Is it always lucky everywhere? Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah, if you're playing dice, for sure.
Yeah, if you're rolling 2 dice, 7 is the most come-up number.
What is it? In some other cultures, is it 3 a lucky number?
8.
8 is
Eight is a
as well?
big-time lucky
Wow,
number.
okay.
I agree. I like
Did
the
you know in
number 8.
casinos they don't have, on a lot of them, floor 13? They
Yeah.
get rid of it.
Yeah.
Because it's, I think it's in Vegas.
Well, Tasis, I live on floor 13. Literally.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've seen you stream. It all makes sense, man. Luck was not on your side. So, who wins this?
Okay,
My
it's
heart
hard.
says Scarlett. My mind says Sue.
Yeah, I would love to have Scarlett move forward, and we were talking to Regret, and he seems pretty confident that Scarlett's game plans are great, and she should be able to take down Sue. But, I mean, Sue is in his territory,
Right.
and the thing is, this has happened 6 times before where he made it to the round of 8, and each time he made it to the finals from there. If you don't knock him out in the group stages, when you got that best of 3, he runs you over. And as he said, he is a ZVZ player that is extremely strong. So, I don't know. It's a very hard one to predict.
This is really...
Scarlett in the finals is like Scarlett or Sue. Whoever wins this has to get the finals. Can we just agree on that?
Sure. Deal.
Classic and stats, you guys can go buzz off, okay?
This is the big boss fight right now for Scarlett. We have not had a non-Korean get this far in the GSL in years and years. So to have her here now is incredible, but does anybody beat Sue before getting to the finals? Well, so far, no.
Yeah, the one person that almost did was Ro, but remember that Zergling block that won the game on game 5?
Very rarely do you have a game that comes down to the positioning of one Ling, but that was the moment.
A series that comes down to that positioning one Ling. What the hell?
We're going to start things off on the map Blackpink. Our game has just now loaded up. This is game 1, Scarlett versus Sue.
GSL Season 1, Code S, Daybreak.
This is hilarious already.
Look at this. Not going for a lot of drones or a hatch early.
Team expert, Scarlett.
Scarlett went up 1 drone, I believe, before getting everything, and soO just went directly into it. So both of them just really rushing each other right now.
soO,
Okay. Well, we're going to see whose micro is better. Is it the 7.0 of soO or the 6.7 of Scarlett?
I felt like they both rated each other too low for that.
I see what they mean, though, because, like, occasionally you get a player that really does have 10 out of 10 micro, someone like a Hero or a Parting or something like that, right? A Byun. Because, like, you look at, right, you'd give Byun a 10 on micro, right?
For sure.
And the thing is, I guess if someone has a 10, should anyone else have a 10 of the same race?
I mean, I guess ideally no, otherwise our rating system doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
but
right?
I guess with that kind of rating system, it's almost more about the players' perceptions of each other. Because we can always have a lot of fun of that, you know, with that. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Pride of Kerrigan. What exactly would happen? So we have two players, I should say, that are both rushing into each other here.
Well,
But,
they're running
you know,
around
it's-
each other.
Yeah, and so it's going to be a lot of blows right away.
A lot of multitasking going on here. Like, how do you block your opponent's slings while getting your own massive damage? What do you micro? Do you micro your attack? Do you micro your defense? How do you split that up?
Well,
I think there's a
Sue's
very good
actually
chance that's how
Sue's
we-
banked some of his length. Scarlett's going to come in here first.
Okay, yeah. soO saw Scarlett coming because she came straight across. I'm not sure that Scarlett really knows what's going on here.
Well, he's intentionally keeping these links back for the moment when the next small wave of links comes out. I think Scarlett may have detected this, though.
Yeah,
It's
she
just
knows
off
now.
pure instinct. She's staying back. Although I got to say, a very technical opening here. But with one Baneling being made there, we'll have to check Scarlett's ramp later to see if she has a Baneling there ready, because otherwise those Banelings will just push up into the entry point. Oh my God!
Ooh, that was a good Bane. Okay.
So far, so good.
Not
here
sure
for
what happened
Scarlett.
up there, but
No, we
yeah,
caught the
soO
tail end
lost,
of it.
soO lost a bit more there.
Well, keep in mind, Sue's also sacrificed economy just slightly, but in a really low econ game, that's actually quite impactful.
Yeah.
So it's still 13 workers to just now 17 hatching for Scarlett.
Yeah, both these players droning up a little bit right now. This is actually like a little bit confusing with the red Zerg on the bottom, but they didn't hit like Control X to switch it. I know Todd's freaking out right now, but
we know too much about our other commentators after spending a week with them in Poland. So, you know, it seems like the dust is beginning to settle now, and they're both going to go for the second hatcheries on the low ground, but there's still a little bit more drone momentum here for Scarlett. We already have 3 more drones hatching, and several more on the way, as soO's balancing Zerglings versus drones, kind of keeping that at an even hatch rate.
well, you know, soO did skip one drone early that Scarlett got, and then also there was one better Baneling connection on that side as well from Scarlett on soO.
Whoa!
So. But the thing is, like, in this type of position, I don't foresee either player winning or losing because of what's occurred already. But I mean, look at the drone count of Scarlett. She's kind of pumping it up very quickly. soO is making some additional Lings and Banes, so I guess we'll see. Yeah, okay. Morphing a couple Banes over on that side of the map. Looks like soO might want to get aggressive here once again.
It's kind of funny because, you know, this is hinged on the element of surprise and not anticipating some units coming around from the corner, but they're both doing it to each other.
Yeah.
So that hatchery just now finishes. We have soO's hatch also completing down there, and we're going right into layer tech on both sides.
Yeah, look at this. 9 more drones right now for Scarlett. Of course, she is behind as far as army goes. See if this makes a big difference here. There is that one Baneling. Good
Look at how
micro
that's
by
positioned.
Scarlett. Yeah,
Yeah, just in the middle of the 2 queens, so it's really hard to get.
she's really guarding that. Okay, those Banelings didn't really go that well. I would give soO a 6.6 on micro so far.
Nice surround here on that 1 queen. Second queen is under attack. It should go down as well. We have a few links of Scarlett's coming out here to try to save the day, but that double queen assassination, actually a pretty big play there for soO.
For sure, you're right about that. Spire coming up for Scarlett. That layer is about to finish for soO, even though he started a bit later. Scarlett's Spire was just slightly late. Losing those queens, definitely a big deal as well.
So, 10 more lings still on the way here for soO. We might see a lot of explosivity from soO on the map. But Scarlett's coming out right now. And the Spire also starting here for soO. So this is almost starting out like a Brood War Zerg versus Zerg, but with Baneling in the mix.
Yeah, both sides staying pretty even. Of course, with the Spires coming up, this becomes very interesting. Like, are we just going to see Muta versus Muta? Will we see the tech switches out of that? I don't feel like we will in this type of economy.
Yeah,
What are you going to switch into?
It's a little bit like when you have Phoenix versus Phoenix, where you're sort of forced into a Phoenix arm race. In this case, it's a Mutalisk arm race.
And we haven't seen a pro game with both players going like circling rush into 2-hatch Muta in forever. I can't remember the last time I saw a game that looked like this for the openings. So it's going to be really cool to see.
So generally in ZVZ, it becomes a lot more about, as the game progresses, a lot more about expanding, trying to get good surrounds, teching into certain units, and then switch out of that. And players can max out. But I think you're right, Artosis, in a tech situation like this, which is actually pretty unique. Although I would imagine both these players still have a fair amount of experience in it. It's going to be pretty cool to actually see it at GSL. Yeah. How exactly does this pan out?
Yeah, just because we don't see this on broadcasted professional matches does not at all mean that they don't get to practice this on ladder and whatnot.
They should be pretty equated.
Yeah.
I think the link timing here is actually going to pay off for soO. He had just enough lings that before the Mutas could hatch and get over there to protect the hatchery, the lings took out the hatchery. So a big tempo advantage, at least as far as expansions for soO. But Scarlett's got the Mutalisks out. More beginning to increment out with that. So perhaps you could try to leverage that situation before the 6 Mutas, which are just now hatching, come out for soO.
Now, is something interesting. The +1 carapace started immediately for soO. He is being hiccuped slightly here, and his Mutas were a little bit later. So Scarlett should be up in Muta count a little bit, but she's getting plus attack upgrades. Plus armor upgrade is better in Mutalisk versus Mutalisk.
Right.
And that is, it costs 50 less gas, and gas is generally the limiting factor, but just a little something to keep in mind. The +1 armor definitely going to allow those Mutas in equal numbers to defeat Scarlett's Mutas, but they are not equal numbers, and that's a big part of this.
That's right. Scarlett now beginning to put pressure on this hatchery. She has to be careful because with the Mutas out, if she commits and she doesn't quite have enough or gets sniped at a certain angle, it can be really problematic. It's a lot harder to get away. soO is slowly escorting these queens to get close to that hatchery, and the queens comboed with the Mutas means that Scarlett probably can't attack that position anymore.
Yeah. And just with the rally time, even though Scarlett is up a couple Mutas, she's up to 3 to 4 Mutas at times here, but a lot of those are flying across the map, right? And with the +1 carapace on the way for soO, being quicker even than the +1 attack from Scarlett, Scarlett can't really just attack in, I don't think.
No.
Like, she's generally over on this side of the map got about the same amount of Mutas, and then she's also attacking into Queens, possible a transfusion, and now the carapace upgrade. So soO is completely fine, and the speed of that third base definitely going to help him out.
Now, in this situation, Scarlett does have more map control. Because Scarlett's Mutas came out before soO's Overlords had to go back home and stay there. So there's the opportunity for Scarlett to try to hit in a location where the Mutas of soO are not. Now, there's some risk involved there, but soO having the map be completely dark, if he does come out, Scarlett could try to counterattack or something. Hold up, we have soO coming out now.
Yeah, he's dodging the watchtowers. Scarlett does control both. Okay, he actually flies up to the top watchtower, and Scarlett runs away from it. But what you said about that map control is super important, because soO has a bunch of units out on the map, just can't really move because Scarlett's intel is basically perfect. You can't get across this map without Scarlett knowing about it.
Yeah, and that's one of the... hold on a second. We actually have the first Overlord being picked off now, and this is beginning to deny that map control from Scarlett.
Ooh.
Very nicely played there by soO. Gets in and gets out immediately. And there's actually Lings headed up here in the north, and they're going to go for a surround here on this hatchery. This was Scarlett's attempt with that map control to try to get an expansion ahead, while soO is intel-wise a little bit behind. But with these Lings spilling forward, we're going to see if soO can actually punish this.
Now watch this. If the Mutas go up there, the Mutas of soO will fly in. So Scarlett can't save this base. And this is why she's up a good 14, 16 drones right now, is because soO made these extra Lings. And now he's kind of gaining control with his aggression.
And I think these Lings attacking in here is going to put Scarlett in a worse position, because soO wants to pounce on this expansion in the center right.
Her Mutas have to go clean this up, and that's exactly when the Mutas of soO will fly into the third base. Watch this. The Mutas starting to poke in a little bit. Picking off a Muta right there of Scarlett. Scarlett's having a hard time defending here. Tactically, this is brilliant
I think the damage might have been done already now.
God.
With this many workers going down, I think Scarlett might even tap out. There it is. GG, soO takes game 1.
Okay, so this game, my analysis of this is that Scarlett was outplaying until soO came out on the map. He was way down in drones. He was actually 20 drones down when he started to move out, and Scarlett had map control, but that's where, Scarlett even said, like, his understanding of Zerg is probably second only to Dark, and he agrees with that. And I think you can really see it right there. He's behind on economy. She's taken a 4th base, right? Like, she has complete map control, but he forces her into this position where she can't quite defend. She made a few too many drones. She doesn't have enough lings to defend the lings, and the Mutas have to eventually move back. And if they move back, the Mutas of soO move in. That was just tactically brilliant from soO.
It's worth noting as well that soO opened up with aggressive play. Now, a lot of Scarlett's success as of late has been through aggro openers. Not all of them. She's got great late game, but she's definitely brought that out. And I think what soO really did was circumvent the advantages of any aggro play from Scarlett by playing on her turf. Playing the game that Scarlett, if you both go for aggressive builds, it sort of denies the whole point of the other player going for an aggro build. You just end up in a very tight, kind of a fencing match of a ZVZ in that, for instance, in that last game.
And she outfenced him, to be honest.
At the start, several parries there, but when it got to the moment where soO knew that mid-game ZVZ area well enough, he was able to leverage that position out and then basically just take Scarlett out. Game number 2 is on Catalyst. Let's see what these guys open with.
GSL Season 1, Code S, Daybreak. Team Expert, Scarlett.
Looking just fantastic in that early to mid game in that last map.
soO.
So this is already going to be quite different since both players are going for opposite directions. Scarlett, I guess not surprisingly, she's opening up for a pool and a gas, but it's not a super quick pool like the last game. Whereas soO is going for a hatchery at his expansion.
Yeah, it looks like a more mid-range play here from Scarlett. Obviously, you can get a bit aggressive with it, but it's almost like a safety play. Like if soO was going for the same build as last game, Scarlett would have an edge here. But as is, you look at these builds, and the expansion being a bit quicker is nice.
Some support for Scarlett here in the audience. Thanks for coming down, guys. This is going to be a kick-ass day. I hope we go to 5 games in both groups because sometimes, especially these mirror matchups, can be short. They don't have to be, but every once in a while, ZVZ ends before we really even get going.
Yeah, and our other 2 matches, that'll be tomorrow, guys, and actually early, too. Yeah, that's going to be a PVT and a PvP. So the PVT definitely could go long, but generally, ZVZ and PvP right now aren't necessarily very long matchups.
Sure. So Link speed on the way now for Scarlett. You know, at this point in time, it's not really clear what direction this game is going to go. And as we've said before, we do have games where it looks like they're starting out quite differently, and eventually they end up in the exact same spot.
Yeah, and this definitely can look like that as well.
How are you doing with your jet lag, Artosis? We just got back, guys, 2 days ago from Poland for IEM.
I woke up at 3:30 a.m. and I haven't slept, so here I am.
That's brutal, man.
Whoa!
Oh, that was sick.
Who has 7 micro now?
Yeah, man, I woke up at 3 a.m. yesterday. Had to try to power through. I almost just went to bed at 5 p.m. and just quit.
Oh, I would have quit. If I didn't have work, I would have just quit.
I almost quit. And
I quit the last 2 days.
Then I thought, exactly 24 hours from now, I'm going to be on the train going to a cast, and do I really want to feel like I feel right now when I don't have work? And I forced myself up for a little bit.
Yeah. A couple Solings of soO getting in, trying to get some scouting intel done. Sees a decent amount of drones, seen a layer yet. Okay. Not that bad how much intel comes out. Also picks off an Overlord, so that's nice.
So, Baneling's now being morphed. Although it looks to be fairly defensive on both sides. So it doesn't seem like this should amount to really that much for the time being. 4 actually in total now for soO when those next 2 finish up. And it's Scarlett sending that drone out, which is spotted by soO, to make that hatchery at the 3rd base. And we don't see anything like that from soO just yet. In fact, there's a layer on the way.
Yeah, okay. So definitely going to be a little bit different play here from soO. Will he go for a Nidus play, a Speed Roach play? Yeah, definitely could be that. Looks like the Evolution Chamber as well as the Warren coming up.
I think the big theme of this match is going to be how does Scarlett manage soO's very precise mid to early mid-game attacks. soO is able to do more damage than almost anybody in the business at a very specific moment in the game. We've talked about how a lot of times soO can be a tougher Zerg player to define because he is so overall well-rounded.
Yeah.
But I think if we had to find one thing about him, it's the kind of damage he's able to pull off at moments like this. So gearing up for this attack that's coming up here. Let's see how it goes. Oh, excuse me. Actually, soO now taking his 3rd here.
Yeah, this is a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
Especially considering the 2 Banelings connected, like one Baneling purposefully connected with a single Zergling. So that should tell Scarlett that there could be something a little bit weird going on, but just scouting the speed of this 3rd base, I think, tells her quite a bit as well. Ooh.
Whoa, huge blunder there by soO.
Yeah. But soO is making quite a few roaches right now with that speed upgrade. Both of them getting +1, but of course speed roaches definitely very, very important. Can out-micro Scarlett a bit with that. But soO, because of how late his 3rd is in comparison to Scarlett's and the fact that he's already down 7 drones, soO has to get something done with this quicker speed. You can't just sit back on this and be like, oh, I have speed and I'm playing defensive. No, I mean, you're down a hatchery.
Well, you know what? Honestly, Artosis, I think even though soO's been doing a decent job of hiding it, I think he might have telegraphed enough to Scarlett.
Oh, yeah.
I think she basically understands completely what's happening here. So
we say that, but she's moving out.
Yeah.
Is this a fake move out?
if she actually tries to attack with anything, let's see, does she stay at the bush?
She really should not be attacking with this.
All you've got to do is stay back and defend, and you're going to be fine.
I wonder if she's tricking herself, like thinking that soO. Okay, this was a fake out. Or maybe the overseer saw enough that she decided better of it. But like, that could be maybe the worst thing that could happen is if she had committed with those roaches. You lose those roaches right there, which she might lose a couple of them still.
Yeah, they're not on creep yet.
Yeah,
they got to get away.
Definitely not a good thing.
Yeah, perhaps an overextension here. Every roach very important in this attack, so the fact that two were taken out before the real fight even started is pretty huge.
Actually,
and soO just completely coming through here, taking out both those roaches. Now, as long as soO can maneuver this correctly and pick fights where he's always going to win because there's a smaller number of roaches, this is going to be tough for Scarlett.
Yeah, look at this. Good micro from soO so far, keeping that high roach count in play, picking off roaches as quickly as he can. Scarlett's macro is not quite catching up. Did she over-drone? Maybe just slightly here.
Well, also, the fact that the roaches weren't perfectly set up to deny those roaches of soO's to go up the ramp.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
Did Scarlett buy enough time? The reinforcements are not here yet, which means this bruised clump of roaches in the middle here for soO should be taken out fairly easily. But as the rest of the reinforcements come in here from the bottom, the center of attention now goes to the roaches that were on the right, or on the left, I should say, there for Scarlett. I think just barely, Scarlett may have enough.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Just barely.
Like, soO continues to rally up, but now Scarlett has speed. She has her 3 hatches. She's playing defensively on her own creep with great vision of what's coming in. I mean, looking at these positions, I think that Scarlett's completely fine, but soO has been able to, because he was efficient in the roach trades for a bit there, because he did have like twice as many roaches for a little bit, was able to drone up well. So it's definitely a big part of this. Now, you definitely see the different styles between these two players coming into play, with soO continuing on roach play and Scarlett adding down that Hydralisk Den.
Wow. I got to say, full understanding there by Scarlett, the fact that she just barely held that off. It was
I was
kind
a
of
bit
tough,
nervous.
It was kind of a tough one to call because, especially coming from soO, a lot of times he just breaks the other player. But She did a great job holding that.
I do think there was confusion though on the build because, like you said, she could
pushed
have
out
had
so far.
She could have, and she could have had roaches in such a position that soO can't come up the middle, has to walk around, right? Like she could have really controlled the angles he came in from, and not lost as many roaches, you know. So there was definitely a moment there where it was like a little bit scary, and she wasn't quite as efficient as she would want to be.
So soO's made a lot of Ravagers here. We see a Lurker Den being produced right now for Scarlett. Now we've seen her in various matchups actually have a lot of success with Lurkers and Lurker pushes. But I think soO's going to try to come up in this area now. Now takes out that Creep Tumor. Now already Scarlett's going to know the angle at which soO's coming in here. It's not going to be easy for soO to get this base in the upper right. But soO may just barely have enough to threaten Scarlett back.
Well, definitely trying to right now, throwing down those biles and actually connecting with quite a few of them, surprisingly. Microing out. Scarlett hits herself with the bile. She has some Hydras in here right now. We'll see if that works out. Oh my god, more biles hitting.
If she eats too many of those biles, it doesn't matter how much she has.
That's
that does too much damage. And already drones, well, actually some drones coming back now. Is this the breaking point now? Supplies drastically different with soO up by 50. More reinforcements are coming up here. Still a very large number of Ravagers here for soO, which means he can continue. Okay, that's it. GG. soO takes game number 2. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, indeed.
Ruh-roh.
I mean, that game Scarlett seemed a little bit off. I feel like she played game 1 really, really, really well. And this one, I think that she should have had a nice advantage. Again, like you pointed out, the Roach is not in position for the first attack, and then like I don't mind going up towards a Lurker Den there. I definitely don't mind her doing that, but she ate a lot of biles during that battle, and that's, I mean, I think soO probably was going to break through anyways because he was so gung-ho on just Roach macro, but still, I mean, it wasn't the play that we're used to seeing out of Scarlett, right?
I'm not sure if this is going to be a 3-0 or not, Artosis. I'm getting very worried here for Scarlett. You know, ZVZs are one thing, but best of 5 ZVZs, they can become counterintuitive to what we think a best of 5 is engineered for. You know, in a best of 5, you have time to get a read on your opponent. You have time to throw out red herrings, to execute several strategies. But if you have several quick one-sided ZVZs, it can be over before you even get in your element. And that may be what we're seeing here now.
Could be. Our next map, Ascension to Ire. Very, very big map. We'll see how they want to play this one. I really am not sure at this point. Does someone open aggressively, or?
I mean, I think at this point in time, soO has a lot of room to experiment. soO only needs to win one more game. Scarlett has to reverse sweep this, or she's out of the GSL Code S. Game number 3's up. Let's do this.
GSL Season 1 Code S Daybreak.
Good luck.
Team expert Scarlett.
That was a great intro.
I really want Scarlett to win this. And she certainly can. But, you know, the problem is soO's done this so many times.
Yeah.
He's so comfortable in this studio. He's so comfortable in the round of 8.
And
soO,
I mean, the winner of this plays the winner of Classic Stats. I think the winner of this goes to the finals. I think we're actually going to have the 7th soO finals. Like, looking at this.
Oh, I love that drawing.
Oh, my gosh.
You can see he's
His
cheering.
teeth are so white.
I know.
How do you do that?
It's so big.
I drink too much coffee. That's the problem.
Yeah,
Or I'd have white teeth like that.
All 5 of his teeth are so white. So, what do we got this game?
Hatch
So
first.
far, yeah, it's...
I mean, it's such a
mirrored
big
builds.
map. It's pretty hard to pull off some of these very quick cheeses. Yeah, man.
Thanks for coming down, everybody. I hope, I pray, Artosis, to the great god of esports, that we go to Game 5 here, but right now it's not looking like that's going to be the case.
Well, I hope Scarlett pulls it together. You know, she can be an emotional player at times. And
I do
tilt a little bit, but she's been so much better about that this year. So, I don't know. I could see her pulling this together, pick up a victory, and oh my gosh. Well, I mean, this doesn't necessarily mean anything, but this could be a no-regret build. We'll have to see. It's an early Evo. Could just be to get a quick carapace upgrade or something like that. But it could be for circling drops now.
No.
Carapace, okay.
Wasn't a bad guess, though, to be honest.
Well, I mean, no regret is sitting in the front row, right?
That's right.
We're waiting for a build that just doesn't look right.
Okay, so hatchery right away for soO. We don't see anything expansion-wise yet for Scarlett.
Imagine circling drop CBZ. I want to see it.
Zergling drops with armor.
Armored circling
Yeah.
drops.
So, for now, we have to wait and find out, is Scarlett going to try to come in and punish soO's
Whoa.
third base seesaw in this game?
No.
Now
Yeah.
soO is looking at this and saying, okay, there is no third base for you. Also, we have 16 lings on the way.
Dude, he's making a just ridiculous amount of Zerglings right now. His speed's going to finish way ahead of Scarlett. She doesn't have a wall in. She's making drones. Okay, this is a big issue, actually. Scarlett does not have enough to defend this. Even if she full walls, he should be able to break it with the amount of lings about to get over
Yeah,
here.
no, there's no way to
I
stop
am
this onslaught
not
of
feeling
lings.
this one.
Yep. Okay, so
Oh
she's
my
going to try
God.
to make a last-second wall in here in between the hatchery and the little ramp
She
location.
has 2 lings against 30.
Yeah. Now the drones are going to be pulled. They're part of this wall off here. But can they actually breach this location? Scarlett drone drilling here, coming back, trying to help surround these queens. All queens in the orange right now. Now in the red. 1 goes down, 2 go down.
Good micro by Scarlett thus far, but 3 queens going down, 5 drones so far.
Wow.
More and more lings being made.
Yeah.
Luckily, there is another queen out right now. Okay, actually cancels the Baneling
Now
nest.
that makes me worried because soO's Baneling Nest is about to finish. She has a lot more lings on the way.
That's true, but she just got her +1 carapace.
Oh, that's true.
So this
as well.
is definitely something.
We have
That's a
Bane-
lot of Banes being morphed over there.
So
Oh, the runaround.
the lings are going to be coming up now. Now we have some Banelings being morphed over here on soO's side of the map. soO on 3 bases has a lot more locations he has to defend, although Banelings make that a lot easier. The counterattack with these lings and all of these Banes is huge.
Oh boy. soO is looking pretty fine right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think there's any way to really stop this. I mean, with the explosive damage that you actually have with this many Banelings, 12 already killed off drone-wise here for Scarlett. We have some more drones coming back. There's literally nothing to defend here, and soO has not lost anything back at home. He's still doing fine on 3 bases. Scarlett is limping through this game right now.
Yeah.
Although the worker count is even when it's all said and done.
Yeah,
However,
and she does have an upgrade.
yes, very true. Although I think just the massive amount of lings that
Yeah.
soO's making along with the Banelings makes it put too much of a difficulty for Scarlett to stop. There's a Roach Warren done, but there's no Roaches out just a second. We're still waiting for them to hatch.
Okay, well, she's getting +1. Maybe there's some sort of counter all in if she can hold this, but
think
it's
there's
looking
too many
less and
lings.
less likely. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's lost so many queens. She's lost like 4 or 5 queens already. So many drones as well.
Okay, 4 more drones go down, making it 23 to 19. But I think it purely the number of lings that are tearing through the map right now, where Scarlett I think she's got to tap out.
Yeah, she's got almost no army, almost no drones at this point.
Wow, GG. One of the shortest series we've ever had in the GSL.
It's a tough one. It started off looking pretty well for Scarlett in game number 1. She was playing a strong game, and, well, here soO goes to his 7th semifinal.
I look forward to seeing Scarlett again in the next GSL Codas.
Yeah, no doubt she'll make it in.
Although
no
this
doubt.
finals was, not finals, what am I talking about? This round of 8 match was super short. I have to say, we cannot forget how well Scarlett performed in this GSL Codas.
Yeah, truly an outstanding thing that we've seen here. And, I mean, there's so much that can be said about her performance. Yes, we've had foreigners get very deep before, but she's actually qualified now 4 times for Codas. This is not
That's
something
right.
that's happened before. A lot of the foreigners in the past were seeded, and she literally has done this all on her own. So big props to Scarlett. An outstanding run here. I am Pyeongchang champion as well. But that's where her story ends this season.
We are going to have an interview with soO in a moment here and see what his thoughts are now that he's advanced to the Final Four.
네, 8강 진출 시 100% 결승 진출 한 발 더 다가가게 됐습니다.
100% win rate here in the round of 8.
어윤수 선수입니다. 축하드립니다.
Our first semifinalist, soO. Congratulations. Thank you.
네, 3대0 완승입니다. 먼저 4강 진출 소감부터
So
들어볼게요.
3-0. Perfect performance. How are you feeling?
스칼렛 선수가 너무 기세가 좋아서 저는 이제 좀
Recently, Scarlett's been performing really, really well.
그래도 운 좋게 올라가서 다행이에요.
네.
And as of late for me,
오늘 3대0
I've actually been on a downward slope, so I'm very lucky to make it to the
최강의
semifinals.
이미지가 있었지만 최근 기세에서만큼만 보면 스칼렛 선수는 이병렬 선수를 잡고 올라왔고
So your ZVZ
또 말씀하셨듯이
has a
어윤수
pretty
선수는
impressive win rate.
강용호 선수에게 패배,
But recently,
또
Scarlett's been
월참
dominating
패배,
so much.
이런 이 최근 기세에서
Also, especially her confidence in ZVZ.
오늘 경기에 스스로도 조금 이걸 뒤집은 기분이 드시나요?
Scarlett recently went IEM
스칼렛
Pyeongchang.
선수가 좀 이제 저가 좀
You
이제
tell us
못하다
about that.
보니까 요새
네.
좀 방심을 하신 것 같아서
She's asking, were you really worried to face off against him?
기회가 된 것 같아요.
네. 오늘 경기 이 세부적인
Maybe she was
면에서도
overconfident
두 분이 좀
against me
차이가
and dropped her guard.
첫 경기 똑같은 12모 빌드로 시작을 하셨잖아요. 그걸 보고 느낀 점은요?
일단 이제 스칼렛 선수가
So after seeing
첫
Scarlett
맵을
do some of the
고르는
exact same builds that you were doing, what was it going on in your mind?
저도 제가 첫 맵을 고른 상황이면 블랙핑크를 고르려고 했거든요.
네.
근데 저랑 생각이 완전 똑같아가지고 좀
네.
소름 돋았는데
A lot of this came
그래도
down to the situation we were trying to pick the first map.
좀
She had the exact same thoughts as I had in
유리했던
the
것
map
같아요.
selection.
그래서 그거를 계속 끌고 나간 게 승리의 요인이었던 것
If
같아요.
I
네.
could have picked the first map, I would pick Blackpink, and then she did the same thing.
보니까 뭔가 전성기
So from that point on, I think I had a pretty good read on how she was looking at the matchup.
근데 그거 원래 좀 한번 삑살이 났는데
네.
After your first match,
다시 지으니까 되더라고요.
your link
원래는
micro was
죽었다고
reminding everybody that was
생각했거든요.
watching of your heydays.
좀 운이 좀 오늘 좀 따랐던 것 같아요.
그렇군요. 이렇게 겸손한 어윤수 선수입니다. 자, 이렇게 해서
I think I got a little bit lucky with my Zergling micro back there.
4강 상대는 이제 최강의 프로토스 중에 한 명을 만나게 됩니다. 김대엽 선수와
So one of the
김도우
best Protoss
선수 두 분 중에 한
is going to
분인데
face off
어떤 분
against soO in the
만나보세요?
semifinals, either classic or
둘다
stats.
너무 잘해서.
Do you have any
네.
preference?
네, 두 분이 듣고 계세요.
네, 뭐 듣고 있을 것 같은데.
She says, you know, by the way, they're listening to your interview.
둘 다 너무 친해서.
네.
저 웃고 있네요, 대엽이가.
Well, they're strong
둘다
players,
친해서 좀
and they're also good friends of mine. I can actually see stats laughing at me now
한명 뽑기는
in
힘들고.
the studio.
I saw it too.
좀 둘 중에 못하는 사람이.
Anyways, it's really hard to pick one of them that I would want to face off
어윤수 선수
against.
생각에는 누가 더 못하는데요?
But I just hope that whichever player has crappier form advances.
네.
Gary's pressing on. She says, which one do you think is actually worse?
알겠습니다. 나중에 그럼 살짝
He says no comment.
알려주시기로 하고요. 자, 이제 또 결승에 한 발짝 다가서게 됐네요. 마지막으로 팬분들께 한마디 들려주시죠.
So before we close it out, any words to your fans?
좀 걱정 많이 하셨을 텐데. 그래도
I know a lot of you guys have been worrying about me
삼아서 더 열심히
since
하고
my performance had been poor previously.
계속 응원해.
But with this opportunity that I have, I'm in the semifinals.
네, 알겠습니다.
I'm
다시
going to keep
한번
trading hard and
사강
working hard.
축하드립니다.
Please keep supporting me, and I'll see you guys in the finals. Congratulations once more.
이렇게 이번
Thank
시즌
you.
첫 번째 4강
And that
진출자
does it,
어윤수
Artosis.
선수 만나봤습니다.
Yes.
So
계속해서
I'm looking
GSL
at my
이벤트
phone right now,
안내해드립니다.
and
먼저 치어풀
it's
이벤트인데요. 중계진의 선택을 받은
7:13.
분께
Now we start this show at 6:30, and we have, the intro and downtime in between that. That may have been the shortest best of 5 we've ever had.
It was pretty fast.
It was really fast, yeah. I'm sure there's one or two that beat that one, but wow, that's crazy. I don't even feel warmed up yet. Normally we'd just now be getting into game number 2 and on a normal day.
First world caster problems. Tastes like, I don't even feel warmed up. Meanwhile, Scarlett's like, oh my God. 3-0'd. Tastes like, gosh.
That's not what I'm saying.
Could you just last longer?
We're going on a break. We come back, our second best of 5 in tonight's GSL Code S.